It's going to be till we're done. Another episode. We're going to get right to the main topic that I know George wants to talk about is that tremendous and beautiful loss of the Toronto Blue Jays to the LA Dodgers.
All right, we're done. Well,
Come
that would
on,
be
man.
funny
What happened?
if this episode this week would be just 30 seconds long, you taunting me and me going, we're done. What
What?
happened? Well, let's put it this way. I think both teams played really well. Like really, I cannot even say like, oh, the Dodgers don't deserve it. No, both teams played really well. And at the end of the day, it's just a matter of it's a game of inches, really. Honestly, like
That applies to a lot of things.
yeah, exactly. It is a game of inches. Everything is, but no, like at the end of the day, it's not luck in the sense that somebody doesn't deserve it. It's luck in terms of that's how it went, you know? Um, but still, we're proud of our boys. They gave a good run. And that would have been so funny if they went to the White House.
The Canadian team. Okay, now I don't know
Not
much about
only that,
baseball.
we have a lot of Mexicans on the team, and a lot of player Dominican players as well.
Okay, so they
That
would
would
have
have been
definitely
a
had to keep the ice agents away. Before we get into that part, I don't know much about baseball, but I saw some clips of like the LA Dodgers had what, like a couple of Asian players from like Japan,
yeah, Otani and Yamamoto.
and then one of them had like did like a perfect game or something. They were comparing them to Babe Ruth. I saw on social media. I saw
Yeah, Otani.
Otani.
Otani is the best player today. Like, and
Wow.
possibly, yeah, he's possibly one of the best players in the game ever.
So you're telling me there's a
And
sport that the Asians are taking over?
yes, and that would be American baseball.
American baseball. And so the Japanese are finally excelling in an athletic sport
Yeah,
finally.
but fun fact, baseball is like countries that have big baseball games, like where people go and attend, and it's a big sport, are actually US, Canada, and Japan.
Okay.
Like the Japanese league is massive, and it's watched a lot, and people actually like attend the games, and it's a major sport in Japan. So to me, it wasn't weird, but yeah, but Otani is definitely the best player today. Um,
So what would have been weird is during any of the World Series games if ice agents would have came and took half of the Toronto Blue Jays away.
dude, we lost.
You know. So let's
We
talk
lost.
about ICE and this immigration stuff, man, because I mean, you can speak directly of being an immigrant because you are
Yeah,
a recent Canadian, and
yeah,
somewhere in everybody's family tree, they immigrated from somewhere, right?
yeah,
There's,
exactly.
oh, if unless you're Cherokee, Navajo, Apache, unless you're an American native, American Indian native, uh, everybody came from somewhere. So,
Yeah,
so when people say, "Oh, I'm American," well, your family tree got planted from either Europe or UK or somewhere.
yeah,
But about immigrants, though, I mean, I know a lot of people. There's some people that say that immigrants are bad for business, bad for the economy. They destroy countries, because you hear some people in Europe complaining about their immigrant issues throughout the EU, Europe, and even in America, there's been this long thing about they take our jobs.
yeah.
For that South Park reference there. But what are your thoughts, man? I mean, you're an immigrant to Canada. Did you feel like any hatred towards you? I mean, what's been your immigrant experience?
No, I mean in Canada it's different, really different. We don't have ice here. We have nice.
Nice.
No, people here are very welcoming. Especially okay, so I think here's the underlining score for all of this, right? Which is if you're coming in and trying to bring with you the problems of the place you just left and trying to implement those let's say cultural riffs in here, everybody's gonna have a problem. Get the nicest person on earth, and if you tell them, oh, I want to. I still care about that thing that's happening back home. They're gonna tell you, all right, just go back home. Why are you bothering us with
Yeah.
it? But if you're if you're just a nice person, you're keeping to yourself, you're melting in the melting pot that is this massive culture that is built on everybody being here. Nobody has a problem with you, but then that opens up the opportunity for you to bring in the good things about your culture, which is food, music, and people are open for that in Canada. Like, um, I have not seen as many as big of a density of Lebanese restaurants in Lebanon than I have seen here in Canada. And I live in Hamilton, which is called
So
the
you're
armpit of
saying there's a
Ontario.
lot of Lebanese restaurants where you are.
Yeah,
So you're saying they could
more.
use one more.
Yeah,
If
yes,
you
and
was to
that's
open a Lebanese restaurant, what would the name be? And would you go for like street type food? Like talk me through. First, let's start with the name. What would the name be of George's Lebanese restaurant?
Elbi Sharmuta, which means whore in Lebanese dialect. But it'll be so funny because people will be oblivious to it, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like shawarma. And lo and behold, in like 3, 4 years, if it becomes super famous and it becomes like a franchise, you'll have people walking around going, "Oh, dude, I eat that sharmuta every day."
Or a man saying, "Hey, let's go pick up a couple shamutas on the way to the
Yes,
party so we can eat before we eat."
yes,
People would be like, "What?"
exactly.
What would be your
Yeah.
menu? Would it be like street food shawarmas, or would you kind of try to upscale it?
No, look, so so here's what I would do because it'll be like a fuck around project, right? So what I would do is I would make sure to market this tagline, which is authentic Lebanese cuisine, not even food, like cuisine. So it's like even the way we make the food is authentic. But then you walk in and it's pizza and pasta.
It's pasta. It's Italian food.
Yes, and when people try to argue, I'm like, no, what are you talking about? This is the way. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is I'll open a project that is meant to gaslight an entire population.
You know what I would do if I opened up a Lebanese restaurant and I wanted an authentic Lebanese experience? What I would do is I'd make it look like the countryside, right? There'd be
Yeah,
paintings of the hills and olive bushes, and then every now and then once the seating would I would do like a fancy like a Michelin star restaurant. They do like a 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock seating. So once they
yeah,
seat at seven, what I would and I'd make everybody sign NDAs. This is important because I don't want them talking about the experience to others. I would sue people. But what they would do is they'd sit down, they'd start eating, and all of a sudden I just have an explosion, some flames shoot out, some rubble scatter across the restaurant. They're like, oh, that's the authentic Lebanese experience. And they couldn't write
yeah.
about it. They couldn't say it was an awful experience because I sued the shit out of them. That would be, in fact,
So
the back of the business would literally be offices of all my lawyers that would remind them of their NDAs and say, we have your addresses, we got your cards, we will sue you. And that would be my
yeah, it'll
authentic
be
Lebanese experience.
trauma with a side of financial ruin.
Yes.
Look, yeah, you can. I mean, I spoke about this in my stand-up last week because it was
Okay.
Halloween. We
Uh-huh.
did a Halloween special. So it was very funny. I dressed up as Maverick, from Top Gun,
Top Gun. Okay.
and and I come up on stage, and people started laughing because I had the onesie,
The
the
pilot
what do you call the
onesie,
fly suit?
flight
Yeah,
suit.
I had the cap, the glasses, and I was wearing like these heavy army boots, and they started laughing, and then I go, "Guess who I am?" And everybody goes, "Maverick," and I'm like, "No, I'm a Scientologist." And and then I moved into like, and my wife was telling me that I should dress something cultural, like trying to what do you call like reflect my culture onto Canadians. And I said, well, and that's what I did, wearing the Maverick suit. That's very cultural for us because we're ravished by war, you know? And And then I did a bunch of jokes about Lebanese war trauma, like what it leaves you with. But yeah, I think it would be funny to just have a restaurant where you could take a piece of my trauma with you home. And then and then I'll have the waitresses come at the end of the meal and go, "Is that trauma to go, sir?"
Dramatic. So last night I just watched Mo Amer has his new Netflix special. I don't know if you had time to see it yet, but you know him as a
Really?
yes, and it's actually pretty good. He opens with a big F you to DJ Khaled, who I didn't know actually until he told me. I knew he was Arab, but I didn't know that DJ Khaled was Palestinian.
Palestinian. Yeah.
So he basically said F DJ Khaled. He said fuck you DJ Khaled because DJ Khaled has not been speaking about
About
the
Palestine.
Palestinian
Yeah.
people. And so Mo was like, he was antagonizing him. He went after Jerry Seinfeld for a bit because, Seinfeld basically was indifferent to the Palestinian people.
Yeah.
And he talked about he attended some kind of like movement rally in the DC area where there was young Jews with the Palestinians coming together to protest against this war. And so it's interesting to see, like your experiences as a Lebanese person, and then Mo Amer talking about his experiences, because he kind of came in a different direction. He was born in Kuwait, which you just left, about a year ago or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his, coming to Houston, Texas, and it's just always funny to listen to his stories about his childhood growing up. So, do you have any like funny stories about that culture shift? Whether it was when you came to Kuwait, what was your first experience outside of Lebanon?
Well, I can start at a smaller scale, which is, and that's no hate to anybody. It's just how the system is in Lebanon and in Kuwait. Things are inefficient at best. Let's call it that. You need a certain document, let's say, to start your own company. You're gonna have to make 10, 15 trips to the same place, and you will never know if you'll find the person there or if your paper is ready. So it's very inefficient. So coming to Canada, when I started my company, and I needed some documents, it was refreshing to see that the government is not here to mess with you in that sense. It'll mess with you with other senses, but yeah, that would be my biggest positive cultural shock, which is what do you mean you're trying to help me? You know,
You mean this is the only paper I have to do? Like
yeah.
efficiency, everything on
No,
time?
better. I didn't have to go anywhere. It's all online
Oh, all on. It
from the
works.
comfort of my couch. But if because my buddy, my partner went to the Ministry of Commerce or whatever the equivalent is here, and the lady looks at him and was like, "Honey, what are you doing here?" He goes, "I'm just trying to see how," because he also lived in Lebanon and in Kuwait. So she goes, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "Well, I'm trying to start a company, so I just wanted to ask what the paper." She goes, "Honey, just go online. It's all online. You get to do it in 3 minutes. Literally, it's 3 minutes,
3 minutes online.
and and you're off to go." So that was my biggest cultural shock. Also, another shock is when I left the Middle East. That was my immediate, if you want, like me realizing that I'm in a different universe altogether. So when I left the Middle East, I was at the counter, and I gave my passport, and the lady, uh, so I got distracted. I gave her my passport, and I was looking inside to see like if there's so many people, like if there's a lineup at our gate. So just looking in, and the lady apparently wanted me to do the fingerprint thing, like where you give her your fingerprint. And so I wasn't paying attention. So she did not talk to me, or she didn't say, "Hey, sir, can you please give us your fingerprint?" What she did is she started tapping on the table aggressively, like as if she's calling a dog, like that, like, "Hey, you fuckface, pay attention to me." So that got me riled up, and I wanted to react, but my wife told me, "It's okay. We're leaving. It's not worth it right now. That's the last second. That's the last interaction you'll ever have. Let it be that." And then 20 hours later, we get to Canada, and we're tired, we're exhausted. We did like two, three connecting flights at this point. Uh, we're exhausted, hungry. It's 5 a.m. in Canada. I don't know what time it is for me back, like what I was. So you're all over the place. And we get here, and um, we had to wait 3 hours to check in with our passports because there was a refugee plane from Mexico, and it's like a bunch of people claiming asylum, so they had to tend to them first. So in that sense, I got angry, obviously, because I'm like, what is this? Like, I left the Middle East for this kind type of shit, but here, like, I'm facing it here as well. But then I got to the counter, and I was fuming after 3 hours. You can imagine, I was fuming. And the guy says to us, the immigration agent, he goes, long wait, eh? And I was gonna lash out. I was gonna go, what, like, and my wife goes immediately, like, she interjects and she goes, yeah, we've been traveling for 20 hours and you guys make us wait for three here. We're exhausted. There's no seats to sit. And without skipping a beat, the guy says, on behalf of immigration, I apologize to you guys. And that
Made all the difference.
immediately diffused me. And now I was putty in his hands. Like he transformed me in one sentence. I forgot the 3 hours I was waiting
Hmm.
because in that moment I felt he respects me. It's not like, yeah, motherfucker, you don't like it, turn around and go back home. No, he was apologizing for making us wait. And then we do the paperwork. We had to disclose some information to the agent. That was our first time arriving in Canada. And and he tells us, yeah, we're sorry about that, but we have to tend to asylum seekers first because they need special accommodation. So we're sorry, blah, blah. And then when we're done, he hands us back our passports and he goes, welcome home.
Nice.
So that kind of, like, it gave me tears because I immediately realized I'm in a different place now because this person acknowledged my grief, right?
Hmm.
And he apologized sincerely, not on his behalf, but on behalf of the entire agency. So that's a directive from level up all the way to the bottom to apologize on such mistakes to everybody. So
Hmm.
that kind of blew me away, like, what the hell?
It reminds me of this funny clip. I think it might be Funny or Die, where this he's a famous comedian. I forget his name is like Gad something, but he's coming through the immigration, and it's got another actor. I think Rob Livingston is the agent that's
Yeah,
checking his passport out, and he's trying to say, "Oh, you just came from the Middle East," and he's being basically antagonistic, and so
yeah,
the guy's just trying to explain himself, and it's like, okay, so finally the guy gets fed up. It's like, you don't know me, you don't know who I am. You don't know, like, I'm famous. I make more money than all of you. And then finally the guy
yeah,
goes, okay, that's pretty much you proving to be an American. And he
yeah.
lets him go.
Yes, 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 yes.
I love
Gad
this
El
clip.
Maleh.
Huh?
Gad El Maleh.
Oh, is that his name?
He's a Moroccan comedian.
Moroccan. Yes, yes. I love
Yes,
that
Moroccan
clip.
French.
We'll put it
Yeah.
at the end of this video for everybody to watch it.
Uh,
But earlier,
but
let's get back to the World Series because this is something I want to keep. It's almost like rubbing salt in your wound. Uh, were they always the Toronto Blue Jays? Is the Blue Jay like a bird of Canada? Is there some?
yeah,
So they have Blue Jays up
yeah.
there. Have you seen a Blue Jay other than the baseball players?
Literally, we had one land on our deck before the World Series, and my wife kind of took it to mean like we're winning this year. Uh, I'll show you 1 second.
Okay.
We had a blue jay literally land on our in our backyard, and my wife took it to mean, like, done. We're done. We're winning this. There's no way we're not winning. A blue jay just visited us, but they're such pretty birds. Very They're very sweet birds, honestly. Like
Mhm.
they perch and they wait and they look at you and they. I'm trying to find the picture.
Well, we know right now, as with any championship game or series, that somewhere in Africa there's a truckload of Toronto Blue Jay World Series champions shirts being dropped off to some children in need. So,
Yeah, you want to know what's even more fucked up? I paid for my jersey $200
in advance.
because it was in such high demand, and then we ended up losing.
Hmm. Do they
So,
refund your money or what happens?
no, it's okay. I'll wear it next year
You were in
when we there. That's a Blue Jay.
Oh, can you zoom in on your phone so you can make it bigger when you hold it up to the camera? Oh, look at that. Whoa, look at those little tips of the wings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a gorgeous bird, and it landed here. So I'll send it to you so you can put it at the end of the
I will
podcast
put
so
it at the
people
end of the
can
podcast. So earlier you
see
said a
it.
game of inches. So now let's get back to that. I want to pull that thread some if you don't mind.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are other games of inches? Like for example, playing with hand grenades could be a game of inches.
Um, I mean, every game is a game of inches, literally. Like even Monopoly.
Monopoly,
You know, you're
I
trying
guess.
to gain inches on the
You,
board. You know.
from one block to the next is a difference of like $1,000 rent to,
Yes,
the free parking,
yes,
right?
yes. But no, like baseball in the sense that, like for example, the last batting that we had in the last inning, Captain Kirk. Ironic, I know. That's the captain of our team is called Kirk. So Captain Kirk bats a ball. I think it was a curveball, and he ends up breaking his bat. And that kind of caused the ball to go to second or third base. I'm not sure. And for the baseman to catch it and then throw it to base one, and that's how they got us out. And that was the third out of the inning, and the Dodgers were leading by one.
Mm.
And it was the bottom of the inning. So at the top, they led with one home run. So it is a game of inches in that sense because if you see, there's a picture. I'll try and find it and send it to you. Uh, uh, you would see when he caught the ball, Kirk's foot was yay far from the base.
Oh.
So that's a game of inches. Soccer is a game of inches,
Wait, hold up
but
a second.
multiplied.
Is Canada on the metric system or the
Yes,
imperial system? So
both,
it would be,
both.
they really do both? Because in
Yeah.
Canada, would the Blue Jays be a game of centimeters?
No, because let me tell you why. Because we know we have, neighbors to the south that are impaired when it comes to
Imper-
the metric system. So they're imperially impaired. So we have to, tend to them. But to us, like we use centimeters. But here's the weird thing, and I think it's very uniquely Canadian. You you talk about your height in inches. So you say 5'8", 6 foot, 6'1", whatever, right? You talk about your weight in
Kilos?
pounds.
Pounds.
Pounds. Okay. But if you're weighing something, you talk about uh kilograms.
Yeah.
And if you're measuring something, if it's wood, you use inches. But if it's anything else, you could use centimeters or kilometers or meters.
What's the speed
Um,
limit in miles or kilometers?
Kilometers. So all our signage is kilometers. So when I cross to the States, especially when I'm going to Ohio or Buffalo or Boston, I literally make a stop right after to switch my car from kilometers to miles per hour.
Hmm. Another
Mhm.
game that I think is a game of inches is also if you ever happen to participate in a human centipede. You ever saw that movie?
Yeah, of
So where
course.
you're kind of mouth to ass
Yeah, mouth to
and you
ass
always want
and
to be the
it.
front of the human centipede. I mean, I think if you're drawing straws in a game of human centipede, you always want to be the front of the human centipede, because I think the worst is being the further back. It's kind of like a white elephant Christmas gift exchange, when everybody brings a gift they don't want. You
Yes, and
know,
you want to steal it.
so usually you want to be the last one so you can steal any of the gifts that came before you. But you want to do the opposite in Human Centipede. It's weird how sometimes being first is good or being last is good, right? For example, in the World Series, the fact that the LA Dodgers got to go ahead and take the lead and use their defense to defeat you. I'm assuming that was their big thing was defense
Yeah,
over
yeah, yeah.
offense, right? So
Their
so
defense was on point. Yeah.
so then
But okay.
there's
But no, see, okay. So in terms of options available, yeah, of course, a human centipede, you want to be the head of the human centipede. But get this, um, the head of the human centipede, once you disconnect everybody and you send them all on their home to their home, right? Um, you still, I mean, it's not a self-fulfilling position to be in because now you're used to somebody always being at your ass. So you're gonna go out in the world and try to find somebody. But if you're at the end of the human centipede, you're just used to eating shit and you
you
can
should.
self-feed
You
yourself.
can only go up from there.
Yes, exactly. And you can feed yourself,
You
like
feed
you
yourself.
don't need anybody else to help you cope with the
You know,
separation
you would have
anxiety
an
you have.
iron stomach. Because think about it. You know how some people they'll eat a bad shawarma and all of a sudden it just goes right through their system like food poisoning? You'd be
Yeah.
impervious to food poison, I would think. Maybe not after the first human centipede you participated in. And we're talking about as if this was a voluntary thing, right? But you
Yes,
know
like
what?
oh,
I have to believe
sign me
that
up.
because of these movies, there's a group of people out there that's what they do is they reenact the human centipede. I want to believe that this is a thing.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, because
Dude,
there's a
of
lot of other
course.
messed up things in the world. Why not this?
Look, the human centipede, I mean, yeah, I don't think you as you said, you don't volunteer like, hey Jim, there's a human centipede. Do you want to volunteer? Oh shoot, sign me up. Where'd you which
I
spot
want to
you
be the
want?
back. Like some people like to call out the worst position sometimes, like they're trying to play on a team and they want to be the one that sacrifices, says, I'll play this. No one who really wants to be, you want to be, if you're playing soccer, you want to be like Messi, you want to be out in the field in the midst of everything, right? But then a few players want to be the goalie. They want to be the last resort, the last man that can save the game, right? Right. So to me, the most important positions is goalie and obviously the guy that can score the most, right? Your lead scorer, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so yeah. But like tic-tac-toe, for example, everybody knows there's one surefire strategy to win tic-tac-toe, but you have to go first.
Yes, and go take the middle spot.
No, you take a corner, you hope they don't take another corner, and then you cause a situation where you get two ways to
Oh, two,
win.
two, three. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you know the human centipede, I don't think it was a gory movie, by the way. I think it was a very nice scientific experiment because you have this today. We have the human centipede in modern medicine, but we don't refer to it like that. We call it wait, I'll get you the correct term. We call it
Changing the gut
uh
microbiome,
yes, what do you call it? We're
probiotics,
infusing.
prebiotics.
No, when you take literally, there are some people
Oh
who
yeah,
their
takes the poop
intestinal
from a healthy person and then has it put into their system,
transferred. Yes,
transferred.
yes.
So you're
So
just
if
saying
that's
human centipede is the more natural way.
yes,
Natural
exactly. It's
way.
straight up delivery, no contamination on the way.
It's straight mouth to ass. It's like farm to
Mm.
table, mouth
Yeah,
to ass.
I would imagine there was a documentary, like if the human centipede was real,
Oh,
and
it's
there was a
real.
documentary. There was a documentary of them talking to people after the fact, after they saved them from the human centipede. And they go, yeah, it was very traumatizing. I still wake up every day thinking there's an ass in my face. But in other news, like my gut health has been
Been
incredible.
wonderful. I've been pretty
I, I,
regular. I don't even need fiber anymore.
I went to Thailand, not a single food poisoning.
So what are some other games of either inches or where it's crucial to be first or to be last? Is there a game? Wait, let's change it up. Is there a game where it's
Orgies.
best to be in the middle?
Orgies.
What?
You want to be first at an orgy.
You want to be first?
And it's a game of inches.
It's okay. What other better game of inches than that? But then again, it
I think
depends on whether you're male or female in that game. Because to me,
both ways.
both ways.
You want to be first as a male because you get your pick,
Hmm.
and you want to be first as a female because at least now you can take a short break until the next thing happens.
Next thing happens. Oh goodness.
I
There's
think, oh, a game of literal inches in Canadian sports would be curling.
is
Now,
that where they roll it on the ice, a little round cement looking thing?
yes, let me do my professor stance now for all the Americans watching. So
Okay.
curling is a game where you have to push a stone, a granite stone,
Granite stone.
on ice. Yeah.
And they do the
And
little
you have
scooping and sweeping.
yes, sweeping, and the whole point is to get it in the center of kind of like a bullseye,
What is the
right?
sweeping doing? Is it heating up the ice or warming it up
Yes.
or
So there's two types of sweeping. So there's one sweeping that roughens the ice. So you have more traction,
it's slow
therefore the
down?
ball would slow down. And there is one where you do fast to kind of melt the ice because the ball is losing traction. The ball is losing momentum. So
Oh.
you kind of sweep fast to kind of glide it more further down. And
Can you
then
do
at
that
the end,
that sweeping motion again for me? Have you done curling since you've been in Canada?
no, but
Is this
it's
something
my
they
favorite.
offer at like the local YMCA or the gym or
Absolutely. Like even my friend's company, they sent them a form saying like if you have you or any of your friends want to join our curling league to represent the company, we would be there's training every Monday, every two. I don't know, like they had sent the schedule. But curling is a big sport. In I think in February we're gonna have an interprovincial championship.
Hmm.
Um, and get this, it's a major sport also in Russia, in Australia, in Canada, in so many places in the world. And it's the one sport, and I swear I'm not trying to be funny. It's the one sport where the women actually play better than the men. Like I love watching women's game more than men game. And I know the joke brewing in your head. It's not about sweeping. It's because they really play better.
I wasn't even thinking that. I'll, but now that you brought it up, they're just better at sweeping.
But no, they just play better. Their techniques, their curveballs, they do like these insane shots. And there's a game. I think it's interesting for you to watch. It'll be funny if we post the entire 3 hour game at the end of this podcast because we referenced it. It's the Russian team versus the Canadian team in 2000. I want to say 1918. It was the final, and that was one of the best
Something
curling
that would
games
be
ever.
on ESPN 8 to Ocho,
The 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
broadcast. Yeah. So curling is a game of inches because at the end of the day, when you have two stones in a similar position from you or the opposing team, they literally have to get like a compass. Like the what do you call it? The one you draw circles with.
Oh, it's like a oh, I know what you're talking about. It's a compass. Yeah, it's a compass, mathematical
Yeah,
compass.
it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. So you put it at the center of this at the center of the field or the bullseye.
Target bullseye.
And then you see at what position it hits every, and then sometimes it's literally like half an inch more for this team, and that team wins the entire game.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's another game that goes by inches.
Another game that goes by inches. So let's get back to Human Centipede. Who in the Toronto Blue Jays would be at the front of the Human Centipede if the Blue Jays had to form a Human Centipede, and who would be at the back?
Who would be at the front? Who would be at the back?
I mean,
I
would you
think
let your catcher be at the back of the Human Centipede?
Yeah,
Okay.
because Kirk is our catcher usually,
Oh,
and
so
he's
Captain
he's
Kirk would be at the back.
yeah, he's strategic. Like he moves the game from the back. In this case, it would be literal.
Yeah.
Um,
The game would be definitely coming
uh,
to him
yeah, I'll put George Springer at the center of
at
the
the center in the middle.
yeah. Oh no. I'll tell you who I'll put at the front. I'll put at the front Guerrero Jr. because that boy takes no shit. You should have seen him. You should have seen him in the game when you know the fight broke out. Did you see the game?
No, no, I didn't see much. But
A
this
fight
was
broke
game
out.
seven that a fight broke out.
Yeah, yeah. A fight broke out. And there's a scene of Guerrero Jr. jumping off the pit, but you could see it in his eyes. I'm like, uh-oh, somebody's dying today for sure. Like he was charging,
He was
you know.
full Chihuahua mode.
Yes, exactly. He's not a chihuahua. He's a massive dude. By the
He
way, you know
is.
what? You're fucking with me. Keep talking. I have you in my ear.
Okay.
I'll be back. I'll be back in 30 seconds, but keep talking shit. I just
You
want to
keep
do
talking
something
shit.
for you. Yeah.
So I don't know much about baseball, but I did see a few clips on social media and of course of the game. I think it was the double play, I guess, that put them that ended the game. But
Yeah.
it was definitely pleasant to see that the Asians are now like dominating in the sport. There's been so many sports that I'm part Korean and part Japanese, so seeing some Asian folks dominating the sport and like get highlights of the sport is like really exciting to see it because I think we also had an NBA player played for the Knicks. It was an Asian dude. I'm trying to remember his name now. He played for the Knicks.
Uh,
I think he played for the Houston Rockets too. His name was like Jay. Oh goodness, like Jay or Jason.
okay, no, I don't.
Oh goodness, what was his name? Dang it, NBA Asian player, and he was like amazing for a couple seasons. Now Yao Ming was the tall Chinese guy, Jeremy Lin. So Jeremy
Jeremy
Lin,
Lin.
he had that. Oh, look at that shirt. Let's stop everything and look at that shirt. Oh,
See
what's it
that?
say?
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays. Okay. Hmm. It's kind of looks like Tron. Like if you folded that first O up with the R, it's
Yeah.
very Tron looking.
Wait.
Yeah, the
Let's
first
try.
O.
So
Toronto.
T.
And then just hide the TO. It's Tron. Yeah.
Wait.
Ron. Tron. There you go. If you ever got embarrassed of being a Toronto Blue Jays fan, you could always hem it up and just say it's a Tron.
Never.
Never.
Yeah, I paid $200 for this, and then
Oh,
they go and
really?
lose.
And they lost. And
Yeah.
would you been better off betting $200 on? I mean, who was the favorite to win the World Series? Was it the Blue Jays or was it the Dodgers?
No,
It
it
was
was half and
50-50?
half.
Half and
Yeah,
half.
yeah, it
Okay,
was
so that'd have
it,
been a
it, it was
bad bet either way.
it was half and half. No, honestly, like I told you, like there's nobody with good conscience that could say, "Oh, they don't deserve." No, both teams deserved it. It's just,
What
the
if
Dodgers had better luck.
the Middle East, remove soccer or football, but if the Middle East had to play any other sport besides football/soccer or cricket, let's take cricket out of that too. What sport would be hilarious to see Arabs play and then Israelis to play too? So let's say Israel versus Palestine. Let's say 10, 20, probably 100 years into our future. What would be the sport that people would
Oh,
watch to see them play?
TTG,
Huh?
TTG,
What is ETG?
TTG. So double T and G.
What is TTG?
Toss
Tag
the
team?
grenade.
Tossed grenade. Another game of inches.
Yes,
But I mean,
toss the grenade.
wouldn't it be good if we can get certain organizations to change their organization into a sporting type organization? For example, would it be fun to see Team Hamas play against Team Hezbollah? I mean, that would be the bomb.
Literally. But
Literally bomb.
no, um, a good sport in the Middle East would be. Uh, you have three roads, right? And we give you a few data, but then you have to choose which street to take based on the data we give you, and one of them will definitely be bombed when you're crossing.
Okay. Okay. And so
But
they have to
we'll
pick
tell
a
you.
road and they commit to it and see if it gets bombed or not.
Yeah, but it's a logic game, but it's the logic game that is super hard, like where you have to make an assumption and then based on that assumption, you eliminate something else
Yes,
because
but
it can't be.
here's the catch. They're always bombing all three roads. The guy starts
Really?
driving. He sees the bombs go off on the other roads, and he's like, "Alhamdulillah," and he's like, what's the word they use? When something's nice, and they use mashallah.
Mashallah.
And all of a sudden, the bomb comes and boosh. He's like, "Astaghfirullah," as this car's flipping in the air because you got to have
No,
GoPro
no, and imagine
inside the car.
the announcer would be like, great logic there from Mahmoud, who literally solved this puzzle in under 15 seconds and made it to the other side safely. Too bad that we're playing against Israel, where every road gets bombed and
Just when he gets out the car, going, "I made it!" Boo-
boost.
Boosh. It
That's it.
reminds me of a Reddit post about a reality show, and this would probably work in the Middle East as well. I think it would be so controversial, but I think it would be fun for everyone else. But the idea was a reality show where you have a bunch of dudes in a house, and the goal is that one of the guys is gay, but they gotta out who the gay is. And so everybody's acting gay because they don't want to be outed as a straight guy either.
Outed, yeah.
So they have to, if the straight guys vote and out the gay guy, they all get to split a big prize of money. But every week, a straight guy gets voted off the show. So they don't want to act straight because they'll get immediately voted off the show. So the idea of the show is that there's a gay guy and the other guys are acting gay, so they don't get voted out as straight. The catch is there's no gay guy on the show.
Oh, they're all straight, so you
They're all
end up
straight guys
watching.
acting gay.
That would be so evil, but so funny at the same time. Now I'm gay. I'm gay. What are you talking about? Look,
Imagine if this was in the Middle East. What was that show that was really popular where it was like
Big
the
Brother,
MTV
Big Brother.
Big Brother, yes. But like I don't think they're ready for that yet. I think that's way
Yeah,
too
but that
progressive.
would that would have been funny. Yeah, I read that, and I'm like, yeah. And the catch is none of them is gay.
That's gay. I would I would watch that show. I think a lot of people in America because I mean it's like we want to see Squid Game, but I don't think we really want to see Squid Game. We want to watch the fictionalized version, but I think
And
this one.
and the funny part is about that show, the sequels, like the spin-offs, are infinite because now you can do a spin-off where you show their lives after the show, how they all got divorced, and then how that impacted their children. That's another spin-off, you know, how it impacted their friends. Now they're not invited to baseball games anymore, you know.
They can't come to the
Uh,
World Series.
yeah, they can't be with somebody on their own, you know.
So,
So the spin-offs,
okay, let's imagine this was in the Middle East and we had people representing all countries throughout the Middle East or throughout all Islamic majority nations, right?
yeah.
Who do you think would be the best at acting gay? Wait. Who would be number one, the first to act gay, and who would be the last to act gay?
The
Since we're
first
talking
one,
first and last.
of course, Lebanese.
Acting gay number one?
Yes, because we have French on our side.
The French influence, the Parisian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have that. The last would be uh Yemeni, probably.
Yeah.
They're the craziest motherfuckers out there, and they're so butch, man. Like there's you look at them and you're like, no way.
Yeah.
Like even if you see a butch person, somebody you perceive butch sucking a dick, you're like, he must be doing it on a dare.
On a And then who would be
He's
in the
not gay.
middle? Who would be in the middle?
Hmm. Lebanese.
They're the top five spots. Damn.
Yeah, you can't mess with them.
Now since I picked on the Middle Eastern countries, I'm gonna do the rest of the world. So let's do this together. Who's your pick for number one? I mean, you mentioned the French, and I'm inclined to also say the French, but I'm thinking I would go with something more eccentric. I would go with Japanese. No, 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 no. Thai,
No,
Ladyboys,
Thailand. Yeah.
Thailand, number one.
Um, Last would be
Russians,
Somalian.
Somalian. Oh,
Yeah. Um, Middle would be Russian,
you
definitely.
put Russia in the middle? You think there's a lot of gays in Russia?
Yeah.
George Terry was
Uh,
found. He fell out of a one-story house and died. How did he fall out of a
no,
one-story house?
no, no, mysteriously found. He committed suicide by shooting himself in the head 9 times.
So that I like. I believe that one.
We call this the Arab suicide story, right?
The Arab suicide story.
When
Nine
somebody
times.
speaks out against the government, and all of a sudden you hear like a month later, oh, they committed suicide. Yeah, dude, he tied himself up to a chair and shot himself 6 times on the back of the head.
No, I think he shot himself first. Then he's like, "Oh, I need to tie my hands to make it easier to carry me
Reminds
out."
me of Dave Chappelle's joke when he goes, ever notice how a black guy the cops shoot has crack on him?
It's just
You
sprinkle.
think he's like, uh, like he sprinkles crack before he dies.
Comedian, human centipede. Who goes first and who's in the back?
I mean, as much as I hate it, Louis would go first, knowing what I know about him now.
And
He'd
who's in
probably
the
go
back? Wait,
last.
wait, wait. Who's the first mouth on Louis' ass?
Hmm. Bill Burr.
You put Bill Burr on.
Just because they're buddies,
They're
it's not
buddies.
awkward.
Okay, so they would literally be butt buddies at this point. You're taking it to
Both
another level.
Bostonian, both Bostonians, and now
Uh-huh.
they'll be Buttonians together.
I like it. Who's at the end of that human centipede? That comedian human centipede?
Amy
Who do you,
Schumer.
huh?
Amy
You know my
Schumer.
biggest problem with Amy Schumer, and once I heard some of the videos and seen some of the clips, I just I don't want to listen to any other arguments against it. But the big forbidden rule is you don't steal other people's
Yes.
material because it takes
Yeah.
so long
Patrice O'Neill.
yes, and
Yeah.
so she
She
supposedly
did that
ripped
to
off.
Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah, ripped off so many and different people's bits. So when she had her sketch show, there were bits ripped off of. In her stand-up, she ripped off bits. And so it's like she got super famous off of like stealing from other comedians. And I was like, no,
That's Carlos Mencia as well, if you remember him.
yes, he had a
Uh,
scandal.
but there's a fine thread in here, and I think one person was able to do it well, which is Dane Cook. Um, Dane Cook would take a premise, hint at the same joke, but then take it somewhere else. And George Lopez said, I am glad Dane Cook took my joke. I don't know which joke it was, but he goes, he performed it so much better.
Mm, okay.
Like Dane Cook would take, like, so instead of your joke building towards that punchline, he would use it as the first line, Dane Cook, and then build the joke to go somewhere else.
Okay. Now that's taking something and making something new. It's like a remix of a song,
Yeah,
right?
but he still would use your punchline, but now instead of it being at the end of the joke, now it's the very first thing he says, so he can move on to the thing he wants to say.
Got it.
And
Okay,
that's
that's
Dane
cool.
Cook. Yeah.
Hmm.
And every comedian said, like, yeah, Dane Cook does it so well, like we can't be mad at him because
Hmm.
he makes the joke so much better. Have you seen his show Vicious Circle?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you must. Vicious Circle, I think it was in Madison Square Garden, if I'm not mistaken. And you know how MSG is set up like it's like a boxing ring in the middle, and then you have, the crowd. And I think that was his finest show ever
Was
performed.
this recent?
No, no, no. It was very old. It's at least
Back when he
15,
was
16 years old.
famous, yeah.
Yeah, in his prime. Um, that show has so many good jokes. Like I cannot even pinpoint one that is my favorite. It was golden all through and through. Um, he had the famous joke about the atheist that sneezed next to him on the train. So he turns and he tells the guy, "God bless you." And the guy goes, "Oh, I'm an atheist." And he goes, "What are you supposed to tell a person when an atheist when he sneezes? When you die, nothing happens." And then he talks about how he had a conversation with that guy. And the guy asks Dane Cook, "Are you a Catholic?" And Dane Cook, "Yeah, well, I believe I die. If I lead a good life, I go to heaven. I see my cousins. They're like, hey, motherfucker, float over here. We're all here gathered for you." And he goes, "What do you believe in?" He goes, "Well, I believe when I die, that's it. I get put into the ground and I come back as a tree." And people start booing. And he goes, "No, no, 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 no. I do hope he comes back as a tree after he dies." And he'll be standing in the wilderness doing his tree thing with the wind. And out of the woods comes the lumberjack with a big axe, sees him, you know, chops him down, puts a chain on him, drags him through the mud, in the forest, puts him in the back of a pickup truck, takes him to a paper to a mill where they cut him down and then they pound him down and they make him into paper. And once he's paper, you print the Bible on him, and the entire room exploded. It
Yeah.
was, and he has so many of these jokes lined up in that one special. It's called Vicious Circle. Look it up. You're
Circle.
gonna enjoy it. Michelle would love it as well. He
My
talks about
favorite,
also,
go ahead.
sorry, just one last bit. He talks about when he did a lot of B&Es growing up, breaking and entering, and how he fucked up the guy's mental because he would just break the door and never steal anything. So the guy keeps coming to his house like, what did they take? What did they take? And then he does it kind of like the guy at the end when he loses it, walks out on the streets like, what do you want from me? You know? It, like, watch the show. You'll love it.
I was thinking my favorite comedic bit. It's a comedy audio, basically audio tape. It's on YouTube. The audio is, but it's my favorite comedian, and this was his prime, was Dave Attell. And Dave Attell had this one thing. If you guys want to look this up, it's called Skanks for the Memories. And I think it was in like Denver or something when he did the bit. But he
Colorado, yeah.
opens and he just hits rapid fire after rapid fire joke. He doesn't give you even time to finish laughing from the previous joke, and then you're
Yeah.
just bent over laughing. The first like 8 to 10 minutes, he's talking about this was right, sometime after 9/11. So he's doing this bit about, he goes, how did these freaks get on our airplanes? When they go through the security or when they call up to make a reservation, he's like, they call up and they're like, hey, I'd like to make a reservation. And then the person's like, well, he goes, no, one way, inside joke. And they're like, oh, first name, 1 second, yeah, la, 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 Joe.
Joe.
He's
Yeah.
like
I
J as
love
in
that joke.
jihad, O as in authoritarian
Oh, I
government.
don't
But so
know.
he gets this idea about how did they get on our airplane? So he was like, look, if you want the safest way to travel, go by bus because it looks like they've already bombed the place. But he goes
Yeah,
that
so
to a guy with a peg leg. He starts going from one joke to the other, and it's just flawless. So yeah, Dave Attell when he was in his prime, he used to do a show called Insomniac that was pretty funny. And but yeah, it was he's one of my favorites from like that like underground comedy kind of thing that he never really made it super big. But he did
yeah.
partnered like duet partnerships with the Roastmaster General.
Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I know the guy.
They did bumping mics on
Jeff
Netflix. So
Ross.
Jeff Ross. So him and Jeff has did the bumping mics, which is pretty decent on Netflix.
Yeah.
But Dave Attell himself, he's loved by everybody because I mean everybody knows Dave, right? But he's just never made it to that upper echelon like a Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr or any of
You
those.
know, he was on Kill Tony, the
Uh-huh.
big MSG show,
Oh yeah.
and they all stood up for him. They're
Oh
like
yeah.
a legend.
Oh yeah.
My favorite joke of his would be, I used to read Tada magazine, which
Oh,
is a game, which is a
let's
magazine
see.
for and
And
by gay
bye.
magicians.
Yeah. Yep.
Tada.
Ta-da. Written by and for magicians, but that's another story. And then he
Your
continues
favorite
on with the
joke,
joke.
yeah. Your favorite joke at the time when we spoke about him was, I hate traveling.
Oh yeah, maybe it's because my dad used to beat me with a globe.
Yeah, but go.
Then he goes right into, you ever grow up thinking that your dad was Superman, but you just realize he's a drunk in a cape? And it just keeps going and going and going. I love that kind of comedy. Like to me, I
Didn't you
love Dave
meet
Chappelle
him?
as a storyteller.
Didn't you meet Attell?
Huh? Yes, so I do
Didn't you
have an
meet
Attell
Attell
story. So
in
he
the
came out to
bathroom? Yeah.
Kuwait. He came out to Kuwait to do like him and two other comedians. They did
USO.
like a NWR morale show, and so
Yeah.
I ran over to this other area of the base where the show was at. But then last minute I had to go use the restroom, and there's no restrooms in the building, so you have to go out to what's called a latrine, which is like a
Yeah.
construction site bathroom. So I go into this, and in this particular one, there's like a toilet stall, two urinals, and a sink. So I'm in the urinal and I'm going really quickly, and there was a guy already in the urinal. So I'm going in the urinal next to this guy. I didn't pay attention. You don't look at the guy you're peeing next to,
Yeah.
right? So as I'm peeing, all of a sudden this guy goes, "Nice watch." And of course I'm like, I don't got a watch on. So now I look over and it's Dave freaking the tail. And I'm like, oh
Wow.
Dave. So and he's like, man, finish your business first. Because I was about to turn towards him. And so
With your dick flaming pee all over.
he all over like, oh Dave. But anyhow, so I wash my hands and I wait for him outside, and so and then I see the other guy that's waiting for him that was doing like little video clips and stuff that they obviously
Yeah.
use, I believe, for Comedy Central or some
Yeah,
channel.
yeah, yeah.
So he did a quick bit, but I don't know if I ever showed up in the bit because he just said like, I'm here in Kuwait. Look at this guy. This guy definitely does not look like he's from the military because if he is, we're losing this war, folks. So he did rip on me a little bit because you got to know at that time I was about 360 pounds. I was fat as hell, and it showed. I looked like a slob. He's like, this guy's definitely not part of the U.S. military. He's like, he
You
looked.
have a
I
photo?
did have the beard, so he was like, this dude looks like he's a terrorist. So he just kept cracking on me, man, and I was just laughing. So they probably didn't use it because I kept cracking up and laughing. But
You have the
he's like,
photo?
all right, we got to get back in and get ready for the show. And so anyhow, I met Dave Attell, and it was a wonderful interaction. The dude was
Do you have
hilarious.
a picture with him?
No, I don't because at the time I didn't have my phone on me, and
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
right. You didn't have the tech we have today.
yeah, I don't have the tech.
But Dave Attell, yeah, he's I think more than anything, why he's funny is because he doesn't care if you're laughing or not, he keeps going.
Mm. So let's
It's
get
like,
back to the World Series. If we had these teams compete, and let's say Game 7, they said, look, we're going to put it all on the line. We're going to have the Toronto Blue Jays line up and the LA Dodgers line up, and we have to do, they each get a minute of comedy,
mm,
kind of like a Kill Tony, the Blue Jays
yeah,
versus the LA Dodgers. Who wins? Who's the funnier team?
Blue Jays. And that's me being very objective.
Of course, because you
Because
spent
you have
$200 on a jersey.
because you have two to three of your players that cannot speak without a translator. And how shitty it is to do comedy where you go like, like say I need a translator, right? And then you go
Oh, then someone has to deliver it.
and then he stands there and the translator goes, I spoke to his mother yesterday and she told me, please take care of my son. He's a little fruity.
Wait,
It
wait.
just
Let,
kills
let's
it.
do this real quick. You just say some random stuff, gibberish Arabic, and then I'll be the translator because I won't know what you're saying anyway. But don't make it even logical in an Arabic sense. So just start blah 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 blah, and then we'll do this. Well,
اوكي، كل غسالة اذا بتحط فيها اكل بتصير طنجرة، بس مش دايما، لانه في مرات كتير الطنجرة اذا انقطعت الكهرباء عنا بتصير براد.
Your mama's so fat. It's like the Asian movies where no, and it's like short.
The comedian Pablo Francisco?
No.
He's the one who does the inner world. Like he
Oh,
does the
really? Like the
voiceover
movie
guy.
voice, the voice of God.
Yeah. He goes, I went to China to do a show, and an Asian guy opened for me. And he goes, hey, hey, your mother is so fat. He does it with the accent. How fat is she? When she jumped from joy, she got stuck.
Uh-huh. You know what I think would be an interesting bit, now that we're just kind of laughing about it, but I think it could be a good bit where it's funny in Arabic, but maybe it's even funnier in English and vice versa. So you do two jokes. You said, look, language, it's all about language, perspective, and the nuances of language. So, first you got to know, at least have a couple Arab people in the audience, right? That's the key. Because then they would laugh at the Arab joke, the good Arab joke that's funny, and of course, they won't laugh as much at the other joke when it's in Arabic. That would be something to work with, I think. Like come up with two punchlines, two jokes, but one is funnier in Arabic than it is in English and vice versa.
I can do a six-tuple show because I speak six languages, so I can do a joke for the French, Arab, Spanish,
I think that would be an
English.
amazing like 5 minute run of like six languages where I'm gonna do one in this, and it's gonna. But you got to ask first. Do I have people that speak French? Woo! Okay, this one lady. I'm gonna tell a joke, and only you're gonna understand it. Everyone else won't get it, but be genuine. Don't just give me a sympathy laugh, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah.
deliver it. And if she truly is laughing, then it's weird because she's the only one laughing. Then you're gonna give it in English, and the audience could be like, "What the hell is she laughing at?" Right? It's gonna be confusing. But then you switch it around, where I'm gonna tell a joke in English, everybody's gonna laugh, and then when you say it in French, she's gonna be like not laughing. It's like,
Or you could do better, which is when you say it and like you ask somebody speaks French and it's one person, and you say the joke to her in French, which is basically like, look at these dumb motherfuckers with one language, blah, blah, blah. And then when you start the English and you tell them, okay, now I'm gonna translate. Do you ever wonder why? So you're doing something else, and now she's laughing harder
oh,
because,
I like that because now she's in on the joke with you. So you need to
yes,
find.
exactly.
So you got to go through your six languages. Look, does anyone speak French? This until you get one person. That's the setup. You got to find. You got to hope that out of the six languages you get one or two people. So yeah, I think you
Yeah,
can
and then you
develop that. That
translate the
that has.
joke.
I think that has some legs to be pretty good.
You know who else has legs?
What?
Anna Nicole Smith in Naked Gun.
Okay.
Remember that shot when she's introduced, Anna
Uh,
Nicole Smith, and they keep panning up, and she has like six knees.
that is that National Lampoons that does those films, or is it another group?
No, I think no, it's not National Lampoons. National Lampoons is what's his name?
Chevy Chase, like Family Vacation, European Vacation,
Yeah, yeah. And what's the other called? The ones who did uh, History of the World.
Monty Python.
There's one more. There's one more, something Pig, the movie called Pig something. It was like a silly comedy from early days.
Yeah, Spam a lot, but that's like the Flying Pig. That's I think Monty Python group too. It's John Cleese.
Really?
Yeah,
John
John
Cleese,
Cleese.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what's his name? The guy who plays in the movie where he's Moses, Moses, and he go, "Can you hear me, Moses?" And he goes,
Oh,
"Yes,
Mel
yes, a deaf
Brooks.
man can't hear you." Mel Brooks. There you go.
Yeah, Mel
Mel
Brooks.
Brooks.
Yeah,
I love
Spaceballs.
that scene.
They're doing a sequel to Spaceballs, so hopefully that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, Mel Brooks is still alive. I mean, he's still
yeah.
doing it, right?
I love that scene where he's coming down with the Moses, Mel
I
Brooks, and
have
he
the
goes,
15
Moses, oh,
10
Ten
commandments.
Commandments. But Moses, can you hear me, Moses? And he goes, yes, yes, a deaf man can hear you. He goes, what? He goes, nothing. Tell me, Lord.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, George, would you want to be on the front or the back of a human centipede that was just you and me?
Front, front.
But what if we were permanently attached and you knew that you was killing me slowly and surely? With every time you pooped into my mouth, you were slowly killing me, and then I would die, and then you'd have to go through life with me still attached to you, you trying to drag me. How inconvenient would that make your life? Would you somehow use
Mm,
my dead body into your comedy?
yes.
Get
Um,
me up on stage. You got me attached to your ass still. I'm dead.
yeah. Yeah, limp, and then I would go, I'm a massive asshole, and then turn around and show you.
What a great one-liner. I'm a massive
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah. It's like turn around, show it, and be like, I can't find suits.
That's it. Going to the
I
tailor
don't
is,
get
is quite an ordeal.
I don't get invited anywhere anymore
I'm not allowed in the swimming pool
with kids.
with
But
anybody,
hey,
man.
and the swimming pool, I have my own floaty.
Where would that be
Are you,
useful other than this being like in the ocean? You'd have like a body to keep you afloat. Where else would that be useful?
if you're jumping off a plane without a parachute?
I still think that you could.
No, last minute I'll go like,
Wait, you're going to try to wrap my body around you and,
yeah,
and and risk having your asshole ripped apart, I guess, in the process.
yeah,
Okay. As long as you
yeah, yeah,
survive. I mean, going
exactly.
through security
Survival,
and getting on an airplane would be hard too. I mean,
sir. We're gonna have to frisk you, your orifice. Like, oh boy,
well, they'd be going through the other end, my end.
yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, time for another body cavity search. Which one?
Yeah, and they pull out a rifle,
They pull out a rifle.
not like weed or cocaine. No, it'll be a rifle. Nice stuff in there. Like that's a very stiff body for somebody who's been dead for 3 years. Let's go do a cavity search, and you're propped up with rifles in your arms like this.
This is the worst version of Weekend at Bernie's that I can imagine. Like going through a
And
McDonald's drive-through because you'd have to sit me in the car first, and it's be like you're
yeah,
sitting on my dead body's lap.
yes. And then did you have anything to drink, sir? Yeah, but I have like I already diluted it in my body.
I can't speak for that guy.
He's drunk,
Well,
sir, but I'm
actually,
driving.
I messed up. It wouldn't be you sitting in my lap. It would be my head on your ass and my legs up
Yes,
over the back of the chair. It would look really fucked
you'll
up.
become the seat.
The seat, I'd have to be the seat.
But if I ever go to a concert, kick ass view over the shoulders.
No, my view would be of your butt cheeks.
Yeah, but me, I'll be on top. I'll be like looking like
Oh yeah, you would use me as a prop, a stool.
prop. Yeah, yeah, like a stilt. Yes,
I don't know how we got on human centipede in this World Series discussion. Oh, one more thing I
it's
wanted to
okay.
bring up that since the last time we talked, man, has been all of these tech layoffs due to AI. So this is a new fresh thing. Is what are your thoughts on AI? Have you used anything in AI and anything creative yet?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do. Like I've used ChatGPT,
Hmm.
which is how the French say it, which literally means in French, I just farted,
I just
GPT. But because they have to respect the acronym in English, I use ChatGPT. It's pretty well trained on my creative process, and I bounce off of ideas off of it. Me and him, we talk, and or her, uh, or they them.
oh
We
they
talk, and it bounces back ideas. But I don't think. Okay, here's my take, my hot take, and I said this 2 years ago in Kuwait before AI was even becoming this huge thing. It was something, but it wasn't this massive thing. I kept saying this. You will only be replaced by a person who knows how to use AI.
okay.
That's one. Because every prompt, starts with a human request.
Yeah.
AI by itself doesn't just exist and thinks, oh, George, you've been running your agency for 3 months. How about we make a video now? No, it's passive, it's waiting. You go and say, hey, I want to do some marketing, which could be as easy as that prompt. And then it will go research you, blah, blah, but it's not active? Plus, there's a side to humanity that people fail to understand, which is you, Jim, when you drink a glass of wine, you go, oh, this wine would pair well with that cigar I had in Nicaragua one time. That's specifically a human experience. And from that, you draw other experiences that you can use in your creative process, which AI cannot do because it doesn't have those senses.
Hmm.
Okay. And the third thing I said was, we'll soon shift to, like, for example, I studied civil engineering, I did my engineering and my master's. I will no longer say I'm an engineer. I will say I'm a prompting engineer specializing in civil works. Jim is a writer. He's not a writer. He's a prompt engineer specializing in writing. A graphic designer. He's not a graphic designer. He's a prompt engineer specializing in graphic design. So we become these subcategories of a huge language model, but that allows us to still keep our humanity and render these services. It's just now, I think the only thing that will change is we will be expected to do way more now.
Hmm.
So instead of you, like, for example, my wife, who's a lawyer, drafting a contract in 2 days, now she's supposed to do it in an hour.
Well,
But
I
she's
think
not
the
a lawyer.
NLP, the natural
Yeah,
language processing side of AI, is like
yeah,
for like service desks, call centers, these type of rudimentary, like routine scripted kind of things can
yeah.
be replaced with AI. But this is what I think the backlash will come. There was a time where people closed the service centers and call centers in the States because it cost too much, and they offshored it to like India,
So
Sri
India
Lanka,
and yeah,
Bangladesh, Pakistan.
Pakistan.
And of course, the first thing people got was like, your name's not John, because they knew they could hear the accents, and people hated dealing with customer service when they knew it was in a foreign country. Like, get me an American English speaking person, blah 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 blah, blah, or get me to a manager, and that was a little bit of pushback there, right? Well, now
Yeah.
even there, they've replaced a lot of call centers from even India and these countries with AI, and even like Amazon just laid off like a bunch of people, like 14,000 people, and there's more layoffs to come. So I see companies
Yeah.
taking that gamble to replace their workforce to save money, but I don't know what the end result, the end customer experience is going to be, and how much they may push back against it. That's to be determined.
Look, does AI follow the Asimov rules?
Oh, the do no harm. I don't know.
The three robots rule by
Yeah,
Sir Isaac
yeah.
Asimov, when he said a robot shall not harm a human. A robot always follows command unless it
Defeat
negates
rule
rule
number one.
one,
Mhm.
and a robot self-preserves unless it
The
negates
other
rule
two
two and
rules.
one.
Yeah. So the problem, I think, is there's a lot of discussion around morals and ethics and the governance of AI, because just like privacy laws are different in like South America, US,
Yeah.
EU, Middle East, and other countries, regulations and regulatory laws are different. So if we're looking for laws to govern by, then what can we universally agree to? So then there's the ethics debate, right? Ethical AI, what that does with handling of your data. For example, as an author and creator, we lost a major court case earlier this year where AI won against authors saying they didn't want the AI systems scraping their books and their content into their systems because they said it was copyright infringement. A judge said, "Nope, you don't get the copyright protections because of whatever reason they used." But it was a big blow to authors and writers because now your work can be repeated, regurgitated without any compensation. So that's a major blow. And then you have issues like where what if we had AI Elvis, right? How does musicians compete, or the estates of like Elvis or Tupac or
Yeah, Michael
Johnny Cash,
Jackson.
where they're being used to make new versions of songs, being used to make mashups and things. So how do we dictate that as well? How do we protect intellectual property and give it the same protections, or do we throw that out the window, right? So, because I'm on the fence of this, I love to hear like Johnny Cash singing, "Baby Got Back" or some,
Yeah.
rap song, like WAP. And it's funny in the moment. You're like, oh, that's funny. And then at the same time, there's a few good songs where they're like having Elvis sing something like, wow, it'd be cool if Elvis was still alive, or Michael Jackson putting out a new album even. How can we, because one, the artist is dead. So do you leave it to the estate? Do you leave it, or let's say someone like I think Ice Cube, I think came out saying he didn't want no AI versions of him. But if you're a living artist today, can you like Lady Gaga? Can Lady Gaga say I make the choice, put it in her will or whatever legal document to say I want no AI versions of myself after I'm gone, right? Or does an artist, let's say like Madonna, who's aging, does she maybe choose to make an album with a age reversed voice of her when she was younger, and she can approve it and have a new album come out? Again,
Yeah.
how do people embrace that, accept it, or deny it and refuse it? What are your thoughts on that? Like, for example, AI. Oh, they had AI George Carlin. That was. Did you hear that bit? It was like an
Yeah,
hour
yeah, yeah.
long. Yeah, and some of it was okay. It wasn't great. Like it didn't have the rawness of George Carlin, but to hear the likeness of his voice speak again, it was kind of wild. It's like, man, I miss George Carlin. I miss the real version though.
Yeah.
But it did. So for me, it was like, oh, it wasn't nostalgia. It made me miss the old George Carlin. But at the same time, you got to wonder, how does his family feel? How does people that really love George Carlin, like if Louis C.K. had died, and you're listening to an AI Louis C.K., would it be the same for you?
No, absolutely not. It falls back to what I was saying, which is the humanity behind the experience is what makes the joke, the song, the book, the whatever you want to call it, that what makes it valuable. Um, Dude, like I can go to my chat GPT now and say, hey, write me jokes as if you're Louis C.K. and make me laugh. And he would. But would I laugh? No, because there's the history component to Louis. There's the his lived experience component. So I think it will be self-regulated automatically. You'll still have a market for it, but you'll see that eventually people will be like, no, I'm not watching that. I'm not contributing. And just like everything, supply and demand.
You're
One
right.
way
The
or another
market.
is gonna go away, and people are gonna be like, there's a Sony artist that they make concerts with, and they use holograms. It's called Hatsune Miku, which is this anime character that they animate on stage to perform a concert. And that's not a real person, but her concerts, her, are sold out. So, like, see, like in that sense, I'm saying, when you have that done properly, like, oh, it's a fictional character, yeah, people might buy into it and listen to it. But look at the Tupac experience with what's his name, Snoop Dogg. They got all the permission, they did it, and some people didn't like it, so they said, okay, we're parking this one, we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So
Yeah, because we
so
didn't get a biggie. We didn't get a biggie
yeah, exactly.
hologram.
So it's all that it will self-regulate. Like the big thing was before, and it's still a very valid threat, which was used to be like AI porn, like they take somebody's picture, and that was all they talked about, right? Because there were so many scandals. You have a bunch of actresses. You have Taylor Swift. She had her day in the sun because of that. But look at that now. Nobody's consuming that. And
Yeah.
look, I mean, as fucked up as that may sound, but that's the reality of humanity. I mean, porn is the one thing we could agree that you don't need to market to be consumed. All you have to say, "Oh, look, I have a picture of X and people will just get it,
Yeah.
right?" But no, why? Because it's not the picture that is doing it, it's the humanity. It's like imagining that person. You know what I mean? But when you
Yeah.
know it's AI, you know it's not a person. Therefore, it does not do the same thing. And look at it now. I'm not saying there are people suffering from it right now, like revenge porn or, AI porn, but it's not such a big topic anymore because people are like, yeah, it's just stupid, dude. They just put somebody's face on a dick or like tits or whatever. Yes.
But I think
Okay.
okay, so another correlation would be like CGI. Like there used to be in the 70s and 80s really bad CGI, And now that we got full green screens and like Marvel and everything just is all green, blue screen and green screens, it looks as real as possible, but yet we still know it's not real, right? Like we kind of,
Yeah.
we're in on the joke, right? So you mentioned, porn, you mentioned like where, people will consume it anyway, right? They know it's not real.
Yeah, but still they don't. Yeah.
They still will consume it because there are humans still involved. Just like with green screens, it's Robert Downey Jr. still there, but he's talking to these green golf balls. There's no
Yes.
alien creature there, but it's still Robert Downey, it's still Tobey Maguire, it's still all the different actors that we know and love. There's still humans on the screen, right? So
Yeah.
we can forgive a little bit about the things that we know is fake,
And
but
look,
yeah.
look, Sora launched an app, right? Where you can do like AI videos, and it's like Instagram but all AI, right?
Hmm.
And you think now that it's available, so I'm talking 3 years ago when AI porn was a thing, it was very hard to do that AI porn because it was dark web. Now that it's available, the most prompted videos on Sora are cat videos. So that's what I mean by self-regulation. You have to trust the people enough to go because you cannot control every outcome. So might as well just educate the public and say, like, for example, I'm not trying to signal like what do you call it, virtue signaling,
Virtual
but
signal.
I would never touch AI. I just think it's not authentic. You know what I mean? It's not real. So
It's
what am
not
I
real.
doing?
It's like buying a $200 Toronto Blue Jays World Series jersey for
Or a $20
champions. It's
one?
it's it's not real.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
Passport?
Hi.
You were born in Morocco?
Yes, exactly.
Why?
So I guess because my parents were there both at the same time. I'm kidding.
So a Muslim then?
No, I'm actually Jewish. Born in an Arab country, but I'm Jewish.
So how did you understand what the other kids were saying?
I speak Arabic and I speak Hebrew also and French.
All
and
right,
English.
I got 3 boxes. I got English, Spanish, and other. Other?
Okay, yeah.
What is the purpose of your trip to the United States?
Living the American dream.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. What do you do?
I'm a stand-up comedian.
Let's hear a joke.
I just flew 12 hours. I'm jet lagged and I'm tired. I'm just.
You mean your arms?
Sorry?
Your arms are tired?
I know.
That would be a joke,
What kind of joke is that?
because you flew from France.
Wait, why?
Who shot Lincoln?
Steven Spielberg, or did he just produce? I
Who
don't know.
chopped down the cherry tree?
I don't know, sir. I just got here. I was not there.
Can you dab?
No. What?
Dab.
Sir, I told you I was on the plane coming to the airport. Sorry.
It's a very good dab. Excellent dab. All right, when I say what's up, what do you say?
I'm fine.
No, when I say what's up, what do you say?
Yeah. What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? What's up? Sing something American.
Sure. Is it too late now to say I'm sorry?
No. Bieber's Canadian.
Bieber is Canadian.
Yeah.
I need a one dance. What?
Canadian.
That's Drake.
Canadian. Something American. Come on.
My land is your land is my land, from California. Sir, this is a little excessive, okay? No, don't do this to me, okay? Can I ask you one question? Do you know who I am? You don't know who I am. Google me and you'll see who the fuck I am. Okay, guys, sir, do you know who I am? No, do you know who I am? No, you don't. Okay, nobody knows. Okay, Google me. I'm big. I'm tremendous. I make more money than all of you guys combined, losers, patrol, whatever.
Sir,
you should be
you're
lucky
being
that
an asshole right now. And there's nothing more American than that. Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you too, sir. Merci.
Passport. Vanessa. What's your real name?
Session 16, our feature game, Canada taking on Russia. Well, first end, which started fairly open, a couple of mistakes, and now Russia looking to capitalize Alina Kovaleva, an opportunity. Across the nose, avoid the jam. Will catch it a little high side and still get the 3 for Russia to start this game off. And after giving up a deuce, back and forth, cat and mouse around the center line, Kovaleva has the hit and stick to score 2. And right on the nose, so Russia gets 2 back. But the fourth end, well played by the Canadian side. Patient, 2 great hit and rolls by Sarah Wilkes. And the freeze not made, allowing Chelsea Carey to hit, score 3. So a nose hit, Canada ties things up, and that's where we stand through 5 ends.
Beauty.
7th end. As now it is that Canadian stone side of the button. Alina Kovaleva trying to go yellow, yellow, trying to tap it up. But it over curls. They don't tap up the yellow, and it's a stolen point for Canada. In 8, final shot, or first shot, pardon me, for Alina Kovaleva. Has to freeze the one on the button. Needs to freeze this one in a pressure pack shot. Doesn't make this, they may not get a chance to score, and they will just be shot stone. And they get their single point out of that after a throwaway on the last. 9th end, and Canada. Great opportunity, misses from Kovaleva on both of hers. Leaves an open draw. And Carey, lucky she has the back and comes down to it. Chip, roll off, and it does sit just in time. Canada gets their second 3 of the game, and a big lead to the 10th end. And in 10, Canada runs Russia out of stones, and a much needed victory for the Canadian side as they knock off Russia 9-6 the final.
Chelsea, many congratulations. 5-5, still play hopes alive. How do you feel about that performance out there?
We needed that one badly, obviously. Unfortunately, we keep putting ourselves in positions where we have to win, but the good news is we're pulling off the ones when we have to so far. So we're not, like, there's no quit in this team. We're kind of in a never say die situation, and we're good grinders, so we'll keep coming out tomorrow, and until the last rock is thrown, we're not giving up.
And you played a great draw at 7 to set up a steal. Do you think that was a turning point in the game?
Absolutely. It looked like they might get 3 or 4 on us there, so that was a really big draw, and got a miss out of her, and then a good guard, and girls swept them both perfect and put them exactly where we needed, and we're lucky to get out of that one with a steal for sure.
And 2 games left. Same game plan as tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we need to win both games, and we know that, and Sweden's obviously going to be really tough in the morning, and then we got the hometown favorites in the evening, so it'll be a tough day, but it's all we can do. Like I said, we refuse to quit, and we'll see what happens after tomorrow.
Well, many congratulations. Well played. Thank you.